Why?
Why?
You got rings?
Yes.
I used to wear rings. I hate people who crush my hand when
And it hurts.
I hate that.
And you were aware of
Kill
that.
'em.
You were sensitive enough to know that I was doing the really didn't want to.
Yeah, people seem like not to crush their hand.
Right.
You know what
Thank
I mean?
you.
I'm like,
No, I was thinking maybe you're worried about your. I mean, your hands are your life.
no, you know what? When I get ready for a tour, I do a lot of
I interviewed Billy Joel about this. Billy Joel could ride a motorcycle. He fell one time on the motorcycle. His thumb's like rubber now. I go, you're a piano player. Aren't you worried about your hands? I would think guitar. If you couldn't play the guitar, and so you're boxing?
Yeah, I don't think about it like that. You know what I mean? I don't think about it.
You're not neurotic.
No, but I'm not like a guitar player 24 hours a day. You know what I mean?
Are you not? When did you start playing guitar?
Oh, I was young. I was like 13, you know.
Thank God, right?
Yeah.
It was a calling?
Lucky. Yeah, it certainly saved my life, yeah.
Did you take a lot of lessons?
I took one lesson.
Invasion, the Beatles.
Yes.
I thought it was the coolest thing in the world to want to start a band.
Oh, well, it was for us.
Right.
But no, the girls still like the football players and, and the surfers. You know?
You were sort of a weirdo if you were really going to be a professional musician.
Yeah, it was some separation. Something didn't translate from the Beatles, you know, in Hard Day's Night or whatever, and us. It was just like two different things.
Did you and Bruce, back when you were 16, when you were kids, hanging out at the same high school, I assume?
No, different schools.
Different schools, but you knew each. How do you know each other if you go to different schools?
On the circuit. You know,
Okay.
You play, you know, the same 10 places.
Even at 16? Get up to 16 and start playing in these places? And so you guys started to know one another, and you were these freaky dudes who thought they were going to be professional musicians.
It was an impossible dream, of course.
Right.
You know, but if you were in a band, you were friends because you were freaks.
Right.
Okay? And then when you got long hair, you were friends. Anybody who had long hair, we were friends.
So who were the people influencing you at that point? The Beatles and the Stones?
Beatles, Stones, Kinks, The Who, you know.
Would you go home and listen to those records when they'd come out with a new record and just listen to it religiously over and over?
Wear them out.
And then would you sit in your room and try to pretend to play the leads on the Beatles songs?
Yeah, you would slow down the record.
Right.
In those days you had 45s and 33 RPM.
Yeah.
Right.
You would slow down the 45 so you can learn the solo.
Wow.
And so you would listen to the solo and then plunk away at the notes because you had no formal training.
Right.
Pretty impressive.
And you'd watch them, like when they came on Ed Sullivan or whatever, you'd watch their fingers.
Are you being humble when you say you're not a great guitar player?
No, I'm not really a really musician's musician. I wanted to play guitar well enough to complement the songs.
But when you
it's
were
all about the songs for me.
In the beginning, you played mostly lead guitar, right? You played most of the leads.
Yeah. In those days, you had to be a good guitar player.
As Bruce got better at the guitar, did he start to take over the leads?
No, we were both the lead guitar players in our respective bands.
Right.
Right. And then when I first joined him, I joined because he wanted to put the guitar down in front of the band for the first time.
Right.
So I was lead guitar for a brief period, right, a couple of years. And then by 78, or the 80s certainly, he started taking over more of the lead. Yeah.
You were the guy who started calling him the boss first. Because at some point, you guys used to look at yourselves as equals, and then at some point you looked at Bruce one day and you said, he's more talented than I am. He's the boss.
Exactly right. And that's when it counted, because I was a boss.
Yeah, right.
I was very, very respected locally. And when I started calling him the boss, people took notice, because they're like,
was that a blow? You know, I was thinking about you. In The Sopranos, you're the number 2 guy to Tony Soprano. In the Springsteen band, you're the number 2 guy, basically, to the boss.
Bruce, yeah.
Does that bother you on any level? I mean, you're a talented man.
No. That's my natural instinct. That's my natural inclination.
Is that your unique talent, that you don't get your ego involved in this, that you can be a good band member because you are willing to be the number 2 guy?
It's nice knowing both sides. You know what I mean, Howard? When you have been a boss,
right,
then you know how to be a good soldier. You know, and you know, you're an advisor when it's appropriate, but not too much. You know. And that's my natural inclination. I like being that second in command. I don't like the spotlight that much.
Isn't it funny that some bands break up for precisely the thing that you're talking about? That a lot of guys can't take the number 2 position. They can't say, "Hey, Bruce has got it, and I'm going to let him lead us."
No, you're right.
I think that doesn't. In fact, you were the guy who reunited the Rascals on your radio show.
I thought you meant the Little Rascals.
Not the Little Rascals, the Young Rascals. Who are one of my favorite bands, and I thought were a dynamic, great band, the Young Rascals.
Fantastic.
They were so at odds with one another that at one point I remember there were the Young Rascals, and then there was something like called the Good Rascals. Like they had to split the name up and go this. What did those guys in? What was it? Ego?
You know, if you ask them now, they don't know. You know, it's like that. I mean, I'm sure in those days, drugs usually were a factor.
Right.
You know, with most breakups. And you know, honestly, you talk to them now, and they're friendly again, and we're talking about doing a reunion tour.
No kidding.
Possibly, yes.
The Rascals?
Yes, it could happen.
Think of the hits those guys had. Good Lovin'.
I know. So many, how can I be sure?
Right. Cavallari was the guy, and so drugs, infighting. One guy can't stand it, the other guy might be more talented, or something like that.
Because they're two great singers. Right. Eddie Brigatti and Felix. Eddie had the first single, I Ain't Gonna Eat Up My Heart Anymore.
Right, great single.
And then the second single, Good Lovin', broke him nationally.
Right.
Right. So then Felix became more of the lead singer. And I don't think that there was a good management in those days, which is a big factor. I think the biggest factor, honestly.
Right.
Who separates people who make it and those who don't. And no manager said, wait a minute, let's keep the lead vocals equal and balanced. You know.
Right. Right.
It kind of went towards Felix, and I think that was the beginning of a little bit of an awkward situation.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to me that I know what I have to ask you before I forget about this. So playing the Super Bowl. You did it. Why is it such a tough gig? Everyone's like Elton John was. We played an interview with him, and he was saying that Madonna's going to lip sync and she's going to suck, basically.
He said that.
Well, he didn't say it like that.
He said she's going to lip sync.
Right. Why is it such a dangerous gig?
Well, it's really precise. First of all,
right.
And I forget what it is, like 13 minutes exactly. You know.
Right.
And I just wanted to see them assemble that stage. That's all I wanted to see.
It's amazing, right? Because they have to do it quick.
It's amazing.
Right.
Okay? 50 different, it's like ants coming out with a little different piece of the stage.
Right.
The commercial's on. The guy comes over to you, he says, 2 minutes to showtime.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God.
There's no stage.
Yeah, I actually felt a little nervous for the first time in many years.
Right.
And you're going out to 1 billion people, it makes you a little nervous. And it just the pressure is that it's a big audience and it's very, very quick. It's not like you can have a show and relax.
So did you have to rehearse? Like you guys probably don't have to rehearse a lot anymore.
No, they want you down here all week.
Wow. And you go several times over that set because it's almost like a different kind of show. It's a compilation show.
Well, they want to make sure all the camera angles are exactly right, and they get the fireworks behind you at a certain moment. And yeah, it's like a big
Did you
deal.
say to Bruce, do you guys have the kind of relationship where you say to him, maybe this isn't even right for our band. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this?
No, we waited. We were asked many times. Okay?
Right.
And Bruce, waited until they allowed us to have the audience come right up to the stage.
That was important to him.
Yes, and I think that was the first time. I'm not sure, but it might have been one of the first times they allowed that, rather than a gap between, you know.
Is it important to him because he wants to feel some connection with the audience, or is it more of a PR kind of thing? Those are my fans.
No. You're playing to that 1,000 or 2,000 people that are right there.
Right.
I mean, you're not playing to the billion. How do you do that, right?
Right.
So you want to think about the 2,000 people in front of you, and then, you know, forget about the cameras. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was important to us, you know, and I think it made all the difference, because it just felt like another gig, you know. Once you get into it, and, you know, now you're playing to these people that you can see, you know.
Don't you think it was good that you got involved with The Sopranos, not only for your own head to step out and do your own thing, but also it was said to Bruce, you know, I'm not sitting at home waiting around for you. Because I would think as a band, it is difficult for you to wait for Bruce to decide to do a tour, for Bruce to decide whether he wants to have an E Street band with him. It kind of said to him, you know what, hey, look, pal, I do have a life outside of this. Am I right or am I wrong? Boy, I'd love to hear that conversation privately.
Did he have to go ask Bruce what he's saying?
No, it wasn't like that. It was, you know, I think you have a good point in that everybody should have their own life, you know, and be as independent as you can be, and then you come together every 3 years or whatever it is, and tour, which is what we've been doing lately.
There's going to be a new tour.
It's going to be a new tour, and every time I have a new TV show, Bruce decides to do a new tour. So I got a new TV show called Lilyhammer coming on.
Yeah, now that's going to be exclusive on Netflix, right?
The first original programming from Netflix.
And it's about your mob character, essentially, who has to move to, like, Norway.
Well, it's a different mob character, but it is a mob character.
But it's a fish out of water kind of story.
Yes, yeah. I go to witness protection program in Norway.
Wow, they're sending people that far away now?
Well, this guy.
Well, how does that work? I mean, did you shoot the whole series already?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
8 episodes, yeah.
Oh, so it's not going to interfere with your tour?
No. But it was shot for Norwegian TV, and it's in Norwegian other than me.
Oh,
wow.
Which is why it's weird. The Netflix is so cool. They said, you know, I went to them, I said, listen, I got a new TV show, but it's in Norwegian.
Yeah.
And the premise is my character understands Norwegian but doesn't speak it. Right. So it's a little
weird,
right?
but
A little weird. All right. And then the Netflix guys, you know, Ted and Reed, they were like, you know what? We want it with the subtitles, just like it is.
Right.
Which was really cool.
Right.
And it's going to be their first original programming, which I thought, Jesus, for, you know, to use something subtitled for their first original programming, they're really.
So if I'm a Netflix subscriber, that's the only way I can get it.
You get it, yeah.
Well, that's a pretty cool move.
Yeah. It's nice because this character's a little bit. I can do a little bit more with him because I'm starring in this one.
So when you were sitting at home at 13, and you're sitting there and you're playing the guitar, you had no illusions that you were going to be some kind of big rock star kind of thing, right? You just were doing it for the love of it.
Well, you had the dream, I think, immediately when you saw. When the Beatles came on, you know, they were so good that you didn't think you could do that, okay?
Right.
But 4 months later, the Rolling Stones came. Right. All of a sudden, they were like, not quite, you know, the hair wasn't quite as perfect, you know, they didn't wear the same clothes, and
you start to think, maybe I could do this.
Just maybe. Right. They made it look easier than it was, obviously. But that was the change. All of a sudden, it was like, wait a minute, maybe I can do this.
And then by the time it's Dave Clark 5 and Herman's Hermits, you go, I can definitely do this.
Absolutely, I can do this.
I'm there. Did you start writing? Did you co-write any of the songs with Bruce early?
No.
Was it always just Bruce writing these songs?
Yeah, he was very prolific right from the beginning, and I you know, I remember I go over his house when we were first friends, and he was writing then, you know, at the age of 16, which was like a really thinking way ahead. You know what I mean? I hadn't thought to write a song for another couple of years. You know?
Because in the beginning, when you team up, you're doing cover versions and things like that. No one thinks to write a song. And
that's important that a lot of bands are not doing anymore, is doing those cover versions, because that's how you learn. You know, that's how you raise your standards. You're playing the best songs out there, right? So now you start to write, it has to be almost as good as that.
Was there a period of time that you were shitty? Like, I mean, you'd go to clubs, get booed off the stage, and people would just say, get off. Or were you actually really that good in the beginning?
We were pretty good from the start.
How does that happen? You hear
I don't know. I mean, you know, you spend a year or two learning how to play.
Right.
And in those days, there was just so few bands who had the balls to go on stage.
Right. And when you're 16 and you start doing this, and you're actually pretty good. And women, all of a sudden, like in high school, I imagine you weren't the popular guy, you were the weirdo who played guitar, and then suddenly you're on the stage, and then the women start to happen too, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Took time.
It was still a freak, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe because they thought only British guys could be rock stars. You know what I mean? The Americans were just.
Yeah, like, hey, you assholes, you're going to end up with no job and you're a loser.
And they knew that we were the guys who couldn't get on the sports team. Let's face it, which is true.
Right.
You know.
Is it true that you are worth $120 million? I just read that you are worth
Where did you read that?
$120 million.
Where is that
In my
written?
notes, $120 million.
There's a decimal point in the wrong place. $12 I'm worth.
Is there that big a disparity between you and Bruce in terms of income? I mean, because he is the writer. Is that where he makes the? You know.
Bruce is very generous, actually, and,
Right.
and I have done well with Sopranos and now with Lilyhammer. You know, and plus I have the syndicated radio show. You know, me and you were the only one with 2 stations here, by the way.
That's right.
You were saying before maybe he has a show on Sirius XM.
I said a
I have 2 stations on Sirius
Yes, 2
XM.
channels. You have
2 channels.
the Garage.
Underground Garage 21
right.
and Outlaw Country on 60. You know,
With
you know, so we're the only ones with 2 channels.
Right.
Actually,
Okay.
You know.
That's
but
right.
But then I have the syndicated show on regular radio, which
Right.
has sponsors. You know, like my new sponsors, Victory Motorcycles.
Oh, very nice. Are you a
Hi,
motorcycle
Victory.
guy?
You know what? I used to be, and I haven't been.
Right.
But these guys are like so cool. You know, I only have a few sponsors, so it's just them and the Hard Rock.
Do you play guitar every day still?
No.
You don't?
I don't play until a tour happens.
Really?
I'll go
you don't
3 years.
You don't enjoy. You'll go 3 years without picking
playing
up a guitar.
guitar.
Yeah.
Why do you
Wow.
think that is? I mean, here you loved it so much.
Because I'm doing other things. You know what I mean? Like I'm
But you don't have that. I gotta keep my fingers nimble and.
you relearn. It takes a week or 2. You
Yeah.
get right back.
You
in.
get right back into it.
Yeah.
Do you?
After so many years, you know. But I just don't think I don't walk around as a guitar player. You know, it's just not my identity anymore. Just that. You know what I mean? I am
Right,
that.
right.
But I'm also, you know, I'm an actor. I'm a DJ. I'm, you know, a lot of
The
things.
first time you left the band, why did you leave the band the first time?
I became obsessed with politics, Howard. It's a
Let me tell
sickness.
you something about politics,
Sickness.
because you don't know this. You know who runs America? Corporations, pal.
Huh?
You understand that? There's no more freedoms.
Did you see my thing?
What? What are you talking about?
Did you see the thing I wrote the other day?
No. No, I'm teaching you about politics.
How about this guy? Did he see it?
No.
Robin
Read
Kill.
it here.
He read it, right? I did
You
an
and I think
editorial.
alike, man. It's the fucking corporations. You got to get them.
Am I wrong?
Let's go. No, you're not wrong. What about you became obsessed with politics, so you left the E Street Band. Is that really true?
Yeah, and it sounds silly.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Okay, it is crazy.
Stephen, you have said that you wanted to learn everything you could about America, the political system, how the world works. In other words,
And what were you gonna do after you learned all this?
Well, I just spent my whole life not learning anything. You know what I mean? It was just
Were you a
rock and
bad
roll.
student?
Yeah, very.
did
very.
you leave high school early?
I got kicked out of high school, and then I went back.
How did you get kicked out?
Well, I got kicked out for having long hair.
Oh,
Is
geez.
that true?
Yeah, couldn't have long hair in those days.
And you rather? What did your were your parents married at that time, or they?
Oh
were
yeah,
divorced?
no, but I got kicked out of the house at the same time.
Did your parents kicked you out of the house?
Yeah, I got kicked out of the house, and then so I couldn't go to school because I wasn't living at home.
Wow.
So I
Was your father a tough father?
He's very tough.
Did he think you were an asshole for having long hair and playing the guitar all day in your room?
Yes, he was an ex-Marine, Goldwater Republican.
I see. Do you have any contact with him now?
No, he's gone. You know,
Right.
but we got very friendly. You know, after those first couple of years, and I put him through torture. I mean, you know, I was one of
When
the
you say
2 or
you
3
put-
freaks in the whole state.
But wait a second. Was there a period of time where your dad could have been a little bit more understanding of what you were going through?
Honestly, Howard, when I look back now, I feel bad for what I put him through.
What did you put them through?
I was one of the few freaks in the entire state, okay? And they thought, I mean, I don't know how we
They
could've
were
done-
worried for your future.
Yeah, and you know, if you had long hair and you were the band, they figured you were a drug addict.
Yeah.
You know?
Where did you find the courage to have the long hair, to stick to your guns about music? Like, you could have conformed and pleased your father and your mother. Where did you find that inspiration?
You know what? Honestly, I had no choice. It wasn't courage, and people say this all the time. You know, you were so tough and courageous. No, I couldn't do anything else. I was a complete loser. I was too small for sports. Didn't want to go to college. Didn't want to do anything. Just wanted to play rock and roll. I had no choice. All those guys who played rock and roll. You know, the day before the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan, there was no bands in America.
Right.
None.
Nothing.
Okay?
Right.
The music industry was like, Perry Como or something.
They went on February 9th, 1964. February 10th, everybody had a band.
Right.
Everybody had a band. I'm not kidding.
Right.
Now, only a few of them got out of the garage, but there was a bunch of them, and they all, when they had a choice, they took it. to go to work, to go to college, to join sports, to join the army, whatever
Right.
they did.
You had
they
to
took
find
it.
your life.
You had a choice, you took it. The ones who were left standing literally had no choice.
When the school said, cut your hair or leave, I would imagine your old man and your mother pulled you aside and said, listen, I'm worried about your future. You can't do. They probably screamed and yelled at you, right?
Yeah, they were very upset because there was no business.
And
I'm trying to be in the rock and roll business. There is no rock and roll business
Right.
yet. You know what I mean?
And they
it
threw
didn't
you-
happen until the 70s.
That's true. And they threw you out. Your parents looked at you and
Where
threw
do you
out of the
go
house.
when your parents threw you out of the house?
I moved in with my girlfriend.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you
yeah,
had a girlfriend.
Yeah, it was great.
Is your mother still alive?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you close to her, or do you really?
Very. I go down every week and see her in Jersey. Yeah.
You don't have anger toward your parents?
No.
Did you feel like Bob Dylan? Like Bob Dylan, I get the feeling was just like completely alienated from his family.
Well, yeah, you can imagine, right?
Right.
I mean, and we all were. I mean, that whole generation, you know.
Bruce was too, right? Did you have
Oh,
that in
yeah,
common? His
yeah.
father was a real shit to him, wasn't he?
Well, they were just.
They didn't understand.
It's hard to explain because
Right.
there's no comparison now.
Right.
Okay. It was a complete break in our culture at that moment. Completely. Okay. From the past to the future.
So
know?
did you ever have a real job, or did you actually go support yourself through music?
No,
once you got
I
kicked out?
actually did. I worked construction, road construction for 2 years.
When you say road construction, can you actually
Jackhammer.
could you go back to that if you needed to? You know how to do it?
No. After 2 years of that, I ran back to show business. I'm like, oh my God, that's work.
That's hard work.
That's work. Okay. What we do is nice. It's
But
fun.
isn't that an exciting kind of job in the sense that, you probably worried about your career in music and this and that. When you jackhammer and you're done for the day, you can go out
You're
for
done.
drinks and have a nice fucking night,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
Right. So there's a different kind of pressure, right?
That's true. Yeah, but I wasn't meant to do that, and I realized that.
So when you decided to leave the E Street Band the first time, and you say, listen, Bruce, I got to go figure out politics and how this world runs. Does he pull you aside and say, listen, shithead?
Yes.
Who do you think you are?
him and 100 other people.
Who else pulled you aside?
Oh,
and
my
said,
God. My mentor, Frank Barcelona, who's one of the most important agent in history.
Right. He was your mentor.
He was my mentor, and now, unfortunately, has a bit of Alzheimer's going on.
That's a shame.
Yeah, terrible. But everybody said, you worked your whole life.
To get to this.
Right? We just broke. We just had our first success with The River.
Right.
1980.
Right.
Finally, we were selling out arenas. We had our first hit single, "Hungry Heart,"
Right.
which was the first thing I co-produced.
Congratulations.
And then we're finally we sold 3 million records, which we thought was the most records you could sell.
Right.
Well, you can't sell more than 3 million.
Right. Who does that?
I mean,
Right.
3 million people. You can picture that, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
a lot of people. And after all that work, from the age of 15 till 19, like 15 years later, and I walked away, and I was just very stupid.
And so when you walk away, at what point, now you have to educate yourself in politics. That was the goal. How do you begin to educate yourself about politics?
Start reading books. Okay, start
Right.
reading books.
But was it like homework to you? Like you said, you had you're not a guy who wants to sit and read books.
No, but at that point you do.
Yeah.
See, that's how education should work. When you're really interested in learning about things, you do.
Well, you're right. I read a book once called Summerhill, where they
school.
right, as a school, that they never forced you to read, never forced you to do anything.
I love that book.
Right, until you're ready to learn.
And then people learn like 10 years of stuff in a year.
They were all geniuses, like Harvard types.
I read that book.
That's right. And so you now had the love of education. So
Yes.
what would you do? You would go and go to the library and get a book every day and start to read about politics.
Yeah, there's a bookstore right by my house, and I go there, and you start reading, Noam Chomsky and people like that, and you
Right.
realize, oh my God, we grew up thinking America was the heroes of the world and supporting democracy everywhere,
Right.
and it was not true. Okay, we were supporting half the dictators in the world,
Right.
and you start to feel responsible because I had gone to Europe, and a kid came up to me and said, why are you putting missiles in my country, Germany?
Right.
And I said, what the fuck are you talking about? There's a guitar in the case, not a missile, know? But I realized, oh my God, I'm an American citizen. That's how he looks at me. I'm not like a guitar player or a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an American to this guy.
Right.
I didn't know what that meant.
And so when you see the war in Iraq and you see what we're doing in Afghanistan, are you for it or are you against it? You're
God.
against it.
It's complicated, but I'm mostly against it.
Even Afghanistan after the World Trade Center, you were against?
No. That was the right move.
Okay.
That was the right move. But
Right.
then we left before we got them, and before we did but But being there looking for Al Qaeda after they're gone is a mistake.
Right. In other words, they're in Pakistan now. They've packed up their bags and gone.
Yeah.
So now we're there, and then we're having an influence on them that's probably not positive.
And it's billions of dollars we don't have, and guys are dying, and I hate that. I hate to see. I'm a very big supporter of our military people, and I hate it when they're not,
Being used properly?
Yeah, when they're not protected, and they're not there doing the right thing, because how can we win? What are we going to win?
Did everyone? So at what point are you getting this education? And other than knowledge, there was no other goal. You weren't going to go into politics. You weren't going to do anything, right? You just wanted to educate yourself.
I started writing political songs.
Right.
So I was using what I was doing.
Right.
And you turn that into a song.
Right.
Okay, because it's not. The rock and roll medium is not something where you can give a lot of information. You're communicating emotional communication, right?
Right.
So you take a song like Los Desaparecidos from my second record, where it was about the intellectuals in Latin America being disappeared.
Right.
By the military, who are working with the fruit company, who are supported by the American government, right? And our tax dollars are going to kill these innocent people, and the fathers will be disappeared. So I wrote a song from the mother's point of view, telling her son why the father wasn't coming home. So you translate it into an emotional song.
Right.
That's what I did for 5 albums, and, all through the 80s.
And so at what point, when you're doing this educating of yourself, do you say, uh-oh, I made a mistake leaving the E Street Band?
It was pretty early.
Early on.
When I realized...
maybe I could have done both.
Well,
I could have educated myself and been in the E Street Band.
No, it's easy to say that later, but I don't know. You're compelled, at a certain point in your life to do certain things, and then you say, well, if only I'd known. But the truth is, I learned everything I know since I left.
Right.
So it's hard to say. But looking back now, it's obvious I shouldn't have left, obviously. But
so when you left early, and at the point that you get where you start to realize maybe I shouldn't have left the band, do you pick up the phone and call Bruce and say, Bruce, I made a mistake?
No, you have to go. You have to see it through. You have to say, okay, I'm on this path now. Let's see how far I can go with it. And,
right.
And then after 5 albums, I learned what I wanted to learn.
Right.
I realized who's running the world, how it's run.
Yes.
Which is very simple. Like we talked about in that editorial.
Right, of course. So the corporations. Yeah.
I mean, it's money in politics is the problem.
PACs, super PACs, all this stuff.
There's only one issue. It comes down to one issue in politics, which is there shouldn't be any money involved in the campaign.
That's how it was when our forefathers made the country. These guys used to go have a regular job, and then they go to Washington 2 months out of the year, right?
Yeah. If only they put that in the Constitution, we'd be a different country right now.
I loved it when you said money, the court said money is free speech, but they didn't think about the people with no money and how that would be impeding their speech.
It's a catchy song.
That's it.
I'm just saying.
Money is speech, right? Protected by the Constitution.
Right.
Well, if you don't have money, then you have no speech.
No free speech.
You're not, it's wrong.
And when you look at this movement like the Tea Party, or the organized Occupy, they really don't have any power, right? Because it's the corporations that have this shit. It looks like the small people are fighting each other.
That's terrible. It's like the 60s all over again. I mean, the 99% include the police.
Right, the 99% are the ones fighting with each other.
Yeah, it's terrible to see that, honestly. You gotta stop that somehow. It's very, very bad. And, I wish everybody, the left or right, Tea Party on the right, and occupiers, if they just adopted this thing, no more money, overturn bucket for right now, Supreme Court decision.
Okay.
And then they'd have something to fight for.
Because then they'd have a true voice, because everyone would be equal.
Yes.
Everyone would have equal say.
And there'll be democracy for the first time in the country.
Now, so how the hell, when Nils took over for you in the band?
Yeah, Nils and Patty.
Yeah.
Nils played the guitar and Patty did the vocals.
Did you start to get resentful of those two?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No, it was my choice to leave.
Don't you think Nils should be kicked out of the band now that you're back in the E Street Band? And,
well, it would be nice if he's a little taller, let's face it.
Do you think Bruce could have been really vindictive? Do you think Bruce could have been vindictive and said, you know what, Steven, you left me? Like a lesser guy might. This is where the rascals fuck up. And Bruce maybe is a self-realized guy. He said, you know what, I'm not going to hold it against you that you left me. I'm going to have you back in the band.
Honestly, he, if you look on the back of Born USA, which I had co-produced with him.
Right.
And that came out after I left.
Yes.
he says, bon voyage. You know, he says something nice in Italian, saying, you know, my friend, my brother, have a good journey. You know, so right away, you know, we were both upset for a minute there, you know, because you know we spent a lot of time. Yeah.
How'd you get back in though? Like, did you call him?
Well, no, we kept being friends. I mean,
you did?
Continued, oh yeah.
Right.
You know, we would talk and we would, you know, all those years, and then finally, you know, we were talking one day, and I said to him, I said, you know, I feel bad that it wasn't just us, but it seemed like all of the groups of the '80s suddenly disappeared at the same time.
Right.
You know, all of a sudden. You know, we were gone. Tom Petty was gone. Mellencamp, all of those guys, Seeger, Jackson Brown. All of a sudden, there was nobody around for a minute. You know, and I'm like, we spent all that time creating a relationship with our audience, and here we are. You know, I feel bad for the audience that we have now, you know, created a habit. You know, like it's like a.
And the original band isn't there.
Yeah, I mean, we're not satisfying that relationship. So I said, you know, it's something to think about. We should get back together and.
Do you love Bob Seger, too? I mean, it seems like Bruce is really hung up on Bob Seger.
No, I played Bob Seger's early stuff. You know, he was a very heavy, cool garage guy in Detroit in the beginning.
Yeah,
you know?
I remember.
Remember Ramblin' Gamblin' Man?
Yeah,
those cool things?
all that stuff.
He was really cool. So I played those first 5, 6 singles in my underground garage format.
No, but I remember in the 80s, I'd go see Bob Seger, and Bruce Springsteen would come out at the end of the show and jam with Seger.
All friends, yeah.
All friends.
Yeah.
And so...
he did it the other day, by the way, I think.
Yeah, he did.
Right, recently. Yeah,
Seeger came out of nowhere and did a show, and then Bruce showed up and did a couple.
Yeah, they're friends, yeah.
They're friends. Is Bruce... Are you in love with Bruce?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, we've been best friends for 40, I don't know how long. I know
Is he your
you were doing the audition before. It was
is he your closest male friend?
Probably, yes. All these years, yeah. Certainly one of them.
You're not going to try to replace Clarence, are you, with another sax player?
I don't know. You know, we just started rehearsals this week. And,
really?
And so we got to talk about all this stuff. It's obviously you can't replace him. Okay, first of all, you know that. But you know, it was terrible even with Danny. I mean, you know,
your keyboard
Danny.
player.
We lost Danny. Yeah. So we got to talk about this week and see what we're going to do.
What is that like when you talk about it? I mean, is there a formal meeting that we're going to go sit down and talk about Clarence?
No, we have rehearsals and you know, and then either before rehearsal or after rehearsal, we'll talk about.
Should I be at the rehearsals to help you guys through this?
I think you should.
Don't you think that I could?
What would you put in? What do you think they should do?
What do I think they should do?
Yeah.
They should do what I've seen Billy Joel do or McCartney do. You got a guy there who's sort of he can play a lot of different things. He can do keyboard. He can stand up and play the sax. And you have him there and you pay him a couple of bucks and you let him. You know, he's not a band member. That's what you do. I think that's what we're going to do. Am I right, Stephen? You're laughing because I'm right, aren't you? You get these pickup guys. You know, they're not going anywhere.
Oh my
right?
goodness.
The guy already knows there's nothing happening for. He's going to get some solo deal that'll never go anywhere. Isn't that what you do, Stephen?
You are a funny guy.
Right. That's going to be it. Pick this guy up for a couple of dollars.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
We'll
really.
see.
What are you going to do? You're not going to find a guy
You're
who
not
had the
going to create
presence.
some Clarence.
Clarence had the history with the band. You can't replace that.
That's it.
So someone will have to play those saxophone parts. But
assuming that if we go in that direction,
do you think it would be kind of cool if you had like one of those screens set up, and then when the sax part comes
Clarence was virtual,
and you play the old sax play? What do you think? What do you think of that? Too much money?
All these things will come up at the meeting.
At the meeting,
I'll bring them all up.
Is the meeting catered? I would love to be at a meeting. I love meetings. I love it.
Honey Nut Cheerios and rice milk.
I mean, is really going to be a meeting where you jam out ideas and say, "Listen, maybe we should do this."
Not in a formal way, but you know, you talk as friends. You know, what are we gonna do?
I'll tell you the truth. I've met Bruce at a couple of parties, and you know, we stand there and we look at each other and we try to have a conversation, but it's very awkward.
Why?
I don't know. I have a hard time with him.
First of all, you're a very musical guy. You're a very funny guy. You're a very personable guy.
Clam up, but he seems like a bigger than life guy.
He's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, but I can't think of anything to say. You know what I'm saying?
Say, talk about the
When's the last
Stones.
time you got laid?
You're a music fan.
Bruce seems like a proper guy, too. Can you have fun with him? Can you talk about pussy or something like that? Like something gross, you know, where you can get down and dirty with the guy? Or does everything have to be political? I mean, really. Is it got to be a migrant farm workers, or can you talk pussy? I mean, really. Does it ever get fun?
Well, the conversation is more on the migrant farm worker side, I think.
It seems very serious. And the farm workers they're getting screwed over, aren't they, Stephen? Hey, Bruce, can we talk about pussy for 5 minutes?
So why don't you read the paper before you see Bruce?
I mean, like I got to study up or something. You know what I mean?
He's not that formal. He's not like that. But next time, just say hello. Talk about the Rolling Stones.
Okay. Hey, what do you think of Mick Jagger? Bowie's pretty cool, huh?
The records, the music.
I will talk about the music.
You're a musical guy.
I love music.
I know you want.
I'm a judge. I'm on America's Got Talent. I'm going to be judging musicians. Right. That's right. I might have you guys play during when I'm there as a judge. I'll let you and Bruce come on and do a little something. We'll see.
What a guy, huh?
He's so good to you.
If you're good, we'll do this for you.
I love you doing that, by the way.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
But Stephen, one of the things I had heard was that Sting almost fucked up the E Street Band. I'll tell you how. Bruce got friendly with Sting at one point, and Sting said to him, leaving the Police was the best thing I ever did, going out and being solo. And he convinced, this is true. He convinced Bruce, that's when Bruce dumped the E Street Band. And I think Bruce realized he wasn't comfortable being without the E Street Band, and then he brought him back. There was a period of time where he dumped the E Street Band.
Where'd you hear this rumor?
I forget. It's not a rumor. I know it for a fact. Do you know anything about this?
I've never heard this before.
It's not true?
No, I don't think it's true. I mean, I never heard it before.
Then why did Bruce dump the E Street Band?
Well,
because of Sting.
I had been gone years before that.
Yeah.
Right? I left earlier,
Right.
and then they separated. I think 7 or 8 years later.
Right.
So I wasn't there. I thought he just wanted to try some new things.
Right. I don't know about that. Check out my theory, because I know this from some people.
Yeah, you should ask.
But first
I think the Rascals told me that.
but what underlying what you're saying is right, though, which is if you have a band, and you want to do solo things, you could do the solo things, but do them in between. You know what I mean? Don't break up the band to do solo things. I think that's a good advice for kids.
And don't go study politics and leave the band.
Yes,
study politics when you have downtime.
Exactly.
We've learned a
You're on the
lot
road.
here.
Where were you when I needed you?
You're sitting in hotels. You could read. You could go to the library in Seattle.
You're my new consigliere.
There you go.
That's it.
Speaking of consiglieres now, so now you got a nice thing going. You are a legitimate actor now.
Yes.
This thing sort of evolved.
Yeah.
Now you got the Netflix gig. And you got the tour thing going. Going to have the meeting about Clarence and all that other stuff. Were you at Clarence's funeral? I would assume. You did you speak?
No, I didn't speak.
Why?
Well, enough people were speaking. Yeah.
Did Bruce speak?
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. I think you should have spoken.
It was very emotional. It was very. It still is.
You knew but he was sick for a while, right?
Well, no.
Remember, he had a stroke. That's what took him out.
How did the shows gotten to the point where, like Bruce, I remember built like some sort of a chair for him to sit in?
Well, there was some physical.
Yeah, he had those hip replacements and all that.
But that wasn't the same as what he died from. It was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
What was it? What did he die from technically? What was it?
I guess a stroke.
A stroke.
Yeah.
So it took you by surprise. I thought he had been getting ill, and you guys kind of knew that.
No.
So you didn't have a chance to say goodbye. You didn't have any of that.
I was filming in Norway.
Wow.
Yeah. And
who informed you?
I flew home. Bruce.
Bruce called you.
Yeah.
He said, "I got bad news.
Yeah.
Clarence is gone."
Well, first I got the call that it happened. And,
yeah, because he was around for a couple of days.
Yeah,
right.
It was bad right
died,
away.
Did Bruce get to say goodbye to Clarence? Did he go see him in the hospital? Or was he not even conscious?
I don't think he ever regained consciousness.
I see.
Yeah, it was terrible, honestly.
One thing I was amazed with Clarence, all of the wives, because he had many, all the wives showed up at the funeral and they all liked him.
Yeah.
Isn't that unusual?
I know. He's my
thing
hero.
was that
he's your hero, right? And you know he wanted to bang Robin and she wouldn't do it. He came on to her.
I didn't want to be a part of a team.
Yeah, you would have been one of the brides. He came on to her in a way on the radio when we were doing an interview with him once, and he said, "Listen, honey, I'm going to get in the bathtub tonight." Which, could you imagine him in a bathtub? I'm going to get in the bathtub tonight. Robin, you get in the bathtub and put on my. Oh, here, listen.
I would like to be alone with you somewhere right now and kind of sit down and
go ahead, man.
Light a candle and romantic. Open the window and let some breeze blow through.
Yeah, all right. Breeze blow through.
Breezes of
Do you put this afterwards?
Just sit down.
No, we put the music on right when
you go home. Put my album on and light the candle and get in the phone.
Always promote.
Let me know when you do it. And I'll do it at the same time. Her face, the face of an angel.
Oh, why, thank
He was smitten.
Yeah.
But she turned him down. I mean,
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
Big
And
mistake.
I mean
is
that
right.
literally.
What is it, Fafa Fooey? How dare you interrupt my
I got a
interview?
question.
All right.
How come the E Street Band isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
They're not?
Bruce is in, but not the band.
You just moaned.
Oh, look at poor
Stephen.
I think I know a little bit about this too, Howard.
Yeah.
I think that because the E Street Band didn't get credit on a record till a certain date, they're not eligible yet.
Well, let Stephen answer. Well, we got the expert here.
Yeah,
Stephen, why are you not in
He's
the...
right. He's right. The technical.
But you
This is
moaned...
not my favorite subject.
Why
Gary.
is it... Do you, is it
I want you to be
Stephen,
there.
Fuck you.
Stephen, is it important for you to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
You know what? Not so much for me, but I would like to see the rest of the guys should be in.
Because the band should be acknowledged. In other words...
Clarence Clemens should be in the Rock and Roll Hall
Clarence
of Fame.
Clemens,
Max
right.
Weinberg should be in the Rock and Roll Hall. I mean, these guys are the greatest.
Because you recognize that Bruce didn't do it alone. There was a collaboration there. As you say, you produced these songs.
It's
You arranged the strings on some of these songs.
It's complicated.
The horns, rather.
Yeah. I mean, it's a complicated subject, It is, and I'm not sure. At some point, maybe there'll be some other category, that the E Street Band gets in as sidemen or something.
But isn't the E Street Band way more important than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the fans that you have and the people recognize your musicianship? I mean, isn't the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame sort of a joke?
No. In fact, I'm a very big supporter of it because of the way that it's going to be the first line in your epitaph. Okay, you know what I mean?
Is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And for the older artists, okay, it's not so important for me, honestly.
Okay.
All right. But for the older artists who didn't make a lot of money,
That's true.
They get recognized by their peers this way, and it's a big deal to them. That's why when I got the Rascals. The Rascals got in, the Hollies.
Why not the Moody Blues?
The Moody Blues eventually might. There was two sets, The first Moody Blues is actually the cooler one.
Right.
But
as a fan, I've got to tell you something. I don't spend a second thinking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's meaningless to me as a fan.
Well, I think that, like I say, it's more meaningful to the people, to the older invented rock and roll.
And they get no money.
No cause, they didn't get rich. The money themselves all those cars didn't get money. And so it's a big deal to them. So I look at
Stephen, look at me. Stephen, that's why you're angry.
I'm not. Who said I'm angry?
Stephen.
I say I'm angry.
Stephen.
Do I look angry?
Yeah.
I'm not
You're
angry.
turning red. I've never seen you this angry. You're usually pretty calm. Stephen.
I am not angry, Howard. I just said that, guys like the E Street Band, Gary Talent and Max Weinberg, one of the greatest rhythm sections in history.
Okay, but Bruce should have said, you don't put me in without my band.
Well, I guess there was some technical reason why it couldn't happen.
Let me ask you something. Sitting here now just for me. Bruce ain't listening, believe me.
He doesn't get up this early.
Okay, early. He probably didn't even have a radio in that mansion. Listen to me, Stephen. I'm asking you, should Bruce have not accepted the award without his band?
I think he deserves to be in.
I agree.
As a solo artist. Okay.
But should he have stuck up for his band?
He also deserves to be in. You can be in for more than one reason.
Okay.
Right? Guys are in 2 and 3 times.
Right.
But he started with you guys.
And I think it's legitimate that he would be in as a solo artist and also that he would be in as,
all right.
as
Stephen's
a member,
being diplomatic. He's
as a member
furious.
Of the Street Band.
He's furious.
Oh.
And you can quote me that he said that.
I look at it much like The Sopranos.
Right.
James Gandolfini gets an award.
No, it's not the
But
same.
He wouldn't be there without the rest of the cast.
Stephen wants to say it's not the same.
Well,
all right?
you got me in trouble, Howard.
No, the E Street Band was a band. It's a different thing.
Well, that's why, the SAG Awards, it's nice about the SAG
They
Awards.
do the whole
They
cast,
give the whole
yeah.
cast,
Yeah.
That's true.
which we got, too.
Right.
We hearing anything about a Sopranos movie? Nothing.
Howard, how would you do it? Half
He's
the cast
dead.
Is dead. No, I'm breathing.
You're breathing.
I'm in a coma.
What are we care.
But half the I'm there, by the way.
Right,
If it
of
happens,
course.
I'm there.
Right.
But half the cast is dead.
You speak to Gandolfini ever?
Yeah, I see him once in a while.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
What,
yeah.
Another guy should have stuck with that show. I mean, what's the matter with him?
Well,
Come on, say it.
10 years, Howard. That's pretty
what's
good.
wrong with 15? Now, listen, you got to
Everybody
see
can't be you. Hmm.
Steven Van Zandt on Lilyhammer. That's the new show.
Yeah.
Now, this is a good idea. Steven's a mob guy, but this time he's in witness protection.
Right.
And guess what? They stick him in fucking Norway, the middle of nowhere. And he's lost.
Yes.
So you can understand that's a pretty good premise. And unless they screwed up the script, I don't see how this could go wrong.
It's pretty good.
And you
It's
got
pretty
a lot to do.
good.
This is your show.
Yes, I ended up co-writing it and then producing it. And
You're not the second banana. You're the number one guy.
Yeah.
All right. God bless it.
I
See,
have-
it's
I
never
have-
too late.
But Netflix, I got to say.
Maybe you can hire Bruce.
Maybe, yeah. Put him in the show for a little bit part.
You can be my cousin, right?
Listen to me. I'll give you advice. If Lilyhammer's a hit, don't leave and study politics. Stick with it.
Don't
pal.
worry.
Okay, you
Don't
learned
worry.
it.
I
All right.
learned.
You're done
right.
I'm
with
stupid, but I'm not that
politics.
stupid.
When you drive down the road in life, are you critical of the roads because you used to jackhammer and build roads, or do you accept our
Yeah,
roads?
actually.
You like the roads.
It's a lost craft.
It is.
All right? After World War II, they built the roads in Europe and never touched them since.
Right, and they're
Right?
great.
So it's like a runway.
Is
right?
that when this country fell apart after World War II? Is that when the corporations
No,
took
it's
over?
more recent. More recent.
When did
The
did
last-
Americans lose the power and the corporations got the power? Pinpoint it.
Well, the big thing was this Buckley-Vallejo decision in 1975.
Where you're
which
allowed
was-
to donate money.
No, it said. You see, the Citizens United thing
Yeah.
is what everybody talks about,
Okay.
right? It's they said the corporation is a person.
Right.
Right. What is the Buckley
The
decision
fuck
you're
are you talking about? A corporation is a person, first of all, right? This Buckley-Vallejo was the Supreme Court decision that
Yeah.
said the First Amendment says freedom of speech, and money is covered by freedom of speech.
Right. Okay.
Okay, one
Got
of the
it.
worst decisions in the history
That's the thing.
of humankind, and that was in the 70s, fairly recently.
So in the 70s is when things started to
Really
go
started to
downhill.
go down.
Can we be saved?
Yes. Oh, yes. It's very easy. One little constitutional amendment to overturn that bad one.
And then we're back on track.
We're back on
because
track.
real Americans will have the power.
But to get that done, you're fighting,
Who are the worst corporations that are ruining this world of ours?
It's not the corporation. It's four industries. Okay.
Go ahead.
It's the military industry.
Go ahead.
It is the pharmaceutical industry.
Right.
It is energy, and the agribusiness. Okay. Those four industries run our lives. Okay.
Go ahead.
And every decision that gets made is made by those four guys somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
There's four guys running that.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
How does it affect your life? Well, how many people are overweight in America, right?
It's an epidemic.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, we don't exercise enough. Yes, we eat too much junk food. But how about the steroids and chemicals and preservatives and additives in that food? You think it doesn't affect our weight? Of course it does.
Look what it did
Right?
to me.
All right?
Right.
Yeah.
I remember this.
We should all be in good shape as you.
Right.
But honestly, that's how it gets affected, okay? Because you can't get the poisons out of the food.
Right,
Because they run things.
And also, doesn't it make you want to eat more?
Well, it just doesn't work for our system, So you end up gaining the weight, but that's the direct result of having no power because they're paying money to politicians.
I love talking serious with you. Ever see Bruce's penis?
Oh.
I just thought I'd throw that in.
You don't want to lose your whole audience, right? Sorry, we're boring everybody. We're
Sorry I
boring
had to throw
everybody.
that in, Stephen.
I'm sorry.
Forgive me. Well, what about Bruce's penis? Big and thick? Whose penis is bigger, yours or Bruce's? Did you guys ever have a
Who's
boner
the
fight?
biggest in the E Street Band?
They were just about to tune
Sorry.
out,
I
right?
couldn't-
They were
I could-
just
no,
about-
actually,
they caught him.
I find what you're saying fascinating because you're the first person I've actually ever heard who came up with a solution on how to level the playing field, and I like it.
No, thank you. It's true. I did an editorial for the Huffington Post the other day about it, and I found out in the '80s when I was doing all this research. I'm like, who's running the world? That's who's running the world.
Did you ever see Bruce's penis, though? No, I'm being serious. Have you? I want to know.
How do you put that in the same sentence? I'm being
Have you,
serious.
have you ever been naked in a room with him?
I'm not going to discuss this, Howard.
Did you ever make love to the same woman?
I'm not going to discuss this.
All right. Well, you'll
Did
come
they
back.
do the whole
You can use your
groupie
imagination,
thing,
though.
Howard?
Yeah, you could. What?
Learn that. Did they do the whole groupie thing?
Of
Were they
course.
doing
Look at
the things
Steven.
where they sat the
Of course.
girls, the pretty girls up front and gave
Finally.
out the passes? And
Well, it finally happened. But it took a long time. I tell you.
Right.
You know, in the 70s,
Yeah.
70s were good.
Yeah, listen, why not? Free love and
Definitely. It was before AIDS.
Yeah.
Forget it. It was
listen,
one.
I understand it's uncomfortable for you to talk about Bruce's genitals, but what about Gandolfini's penis? Did he have a big one? I can't imagine. All right, look, see Steven Van Zandt on Lilyhammer, which is this new television show. It's the first thing that Netflix is putting out on their own.
Right.
And for more information on Steven's Underground Garage radio show, that's easy. Go to undergroundgarage.com.
Yeah.
And it's a great, great channel. Quickly, because we're running out of time, David,
21.
say hello.
Yes,
Channel
hey
21.
now. Okay,
Hey now.
so little Steven, just before you were on, Fred and Howard just totally fucked up and called your radio show Garage. I just want to let everybody.
Anyone who's a friend of Steven's calls it Garage. It's the shorter name for it.
Underground
We
Garage,
all know
Howard.
Underground Garage.
Anyway, little Steven, I'm just wondering, you've got so many amazing DJs. I'm wondering, how did you get Andrew Lou Goldham to come on your show?
Yeah, very, very proud of that. For those who don't know, Andrew Lou Goldham discovered and managed and produced the Rolling Stones.
Of course we know that.
First 7 hours. I know you know.
Of
I mean,
course.
you and Howard.
Robin.
I mean, you and Robin.
Whatever. Yeah.
But and then he had a little problem for a few years, which he talks about freely about a drug problem, and then I decided that. He's just in talking. I knew him, and by talking to him, I knew he'd make a great DJ. And I got all kinds of great people.
That's Channel 21.
That's Channel 21.
Right.
I got Andrew Lou Goldham's a DJ there. And
Who is? Andrew? Yeah, go ahead. And who else? Who else you got?
Comalina, Kid Leo.
Oh, Kid Leo, huh? The guy from Cleveland used to be a DJ.
That's right.
I know
That's
Kid
right.
Leo.
I put him back on the radio after all
good
those
for you.
years.
Yeah.
Handsome Dick Manitoba.
You got Handsome on there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And
I got to tune in.
Yeah, no.
I'm working my way up the numbers. I'm on Channel 7.
we had fun on the Country Channel too. Network Country. We had Johnny.
Do you like country music?
Johnny Knoxville's on there.
Johnny's the man. I love Johnny.
Yeah, why would he do a channel if he didn't like country music?
Yeah, no,
because maybe he's trying to undermine country music.
No. I'm very proud of those two channels. I think that the rock.
Some of that
channel,
country shit though is pretty bad though, right?
No, but we have to do all the alternate of country. We play all the cool guys.
Yeah.
Willie
Nelson.
They won't play anymore. Willie Nelson.
I love Willie.
Johnny Cash, Willie Jennings, but all the new guys too. Hank the Third, and all those guys.
I love you, Steven. I do. You're great. You're the best. Listen, Steven, I could talk to you all day. You're a fascinating man. You're a man who left the E Street Band to go study books. And let me tell you, there ain't too many like you. You're one of a kind.
Luckily.
And please, if you're a Netflix person, check out Steven.
Got to,
what
right?
a great idea. Lilyhammer is the show premiering February 6th, where Steven's in Norway. Think about it. Steven, thanks.
Thank you, Harry.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.